And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of This is a Wolf episode.
Oh,
Ooh. There's a picture up on Facebook, and it's really cute. And it's this mountain lion sitting at the back door or front door or whatever of somebody's house. Actually, they have a rifle right next to the door, and they have at least three bows. So,
oh,
uh,
gonna put bows in his hair? Oh, isn't that cute?
it reminded me of a story because the mountain lion's look is like, gosh, it's cold out here and I'm hungry. Please let me in just for a little while.
I promise I'll be good.
Yeah. And
All right.
it reminded me of a story from International Wolf magazine, published by IWC, International Wolf Center. Sorry, International Wolf Center. In Ely, Minnesota, or Eli, Minnesota, depending on how you pronounce it. And it was a really sweet story. And these people had this like big picture window in their house. This is northern Minnesota, mind you. And you think we get cold?
Blue blazes.
Yeah, I mean, there, I assume all or most of Minnesota's flat.
I think there's a lot of lakes.
Yeah, up in the north.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is wintertime, and lucky I'm not taking you out for a third time.
Jesus, yes you are. Or pee on the floor.
They're this family, and they have friends over, and like just spending the weekend or whatever in like a cabin out in a nice, sounded like a really nice, not a cabin like we would live in, but something modern. And they heard this bump, bump, bump. And I'm like, what is that? And thump. They kept hearing it, so they started looking around, and they look outside, and there's a wolf. This big old grizzly wolf is bouncing his nose against the window, and they're all kind of like, wow, this is like, wow. So what they do is they slowly open the front door, and they all go upstairs. And there was the way they described it in the story. Had like not a loft, but like a little hallway, but it was open to the bottom, like a vaulted ceiling, so you could see down. And eventually the wolf came inside. And what did the wolf do? He went over to the fireplace and laid in front of the fireplace.
Oh.
And eventually one of the guys there got a blanket, very quietly, walked downstairs, and he laid the blanket over the wolf. And they decided, hey, everything seems fine. We're just
let him be.
Let him be. We're just going to go to bed now. And they got up the next day, and the wolf had passed away in the night.
Oh.
But he had a nice, warm, comfortable passing, and it was a really sweet story. I'll tell you another story from that magazine, and these are not fake stories. These are stories that
he was
people.
An old wolf, man.
Yeah, he was an old wolf. They said he looked
old.
Yeah.
He's kind of grayed.
Yeah. The other story was not so sweet. Now, first of all, wolves are not freaking dangerous. People think they're dangerous.
Well,
they're not.
Some may be a little.
This other story, this guy, he had this dog. I don't know. I want to say it was a German Shepherd kind of dog. Big dog. He lived out, again, he lived out in the middle of nowhere. And
party dog.
Yeah, and there's a road out there. I don't know if it was a dirt road or a paved road. And he went fishing one day. And he said one thing he can say is that he never chained his dog up, never put him behind a fence or anything. His dog was free to come and go. Of course, you live out in the middle of nowhere. Where are they going to go? They're going to come right back home, I guess. Well, he goes fishing one day, and his dog takes off. As he's walking to the river, the dog takes off into the woods. He smelled something, I guess, and he took off into the woods.
Dogs do things like that.
Yeah, and so he's fishing, and he hears a yelp. Just, and first he's like, well, I'll just give him time to come back, and he never showed up, so he got his stuff and started going home and looking for his dog. couldn't find his dog. The next day he had a friend come out, and they went looking out in the woods where the dog ran, and they found some scat, and it had blood in it, which blood in wolf scat indicates they gulped, they ate quickly. And they found some fur, and it was the same color as his dog's.
Oh.
So they think the wolves got his dog. But anyway, those are two stories from International Wolf Magazine.